Alright, hello and welcome to my Journey of Wrestling video. This is something I've never done before. I've only ever recorded, well, that's actually a lie. I'm starting this off with a lie. I usually record through the PS5. A lot of times CPU versus CPU. Lately I've been doing a little bit of gameplay. Years ago I recorded off my laptop some Tecmo Super Bowl. I think I made a run with the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl and just got obliterated. Um, but I haven't done anything with the laptop since. And I've come across this game called Journey of Wrestling. I'm a wrestling fan. I've always dreamed of being my own booker. Um, and I found this browser-based game, and it's something that like I have kind of played with off and on over the past year. So you'll see the current date on this is February 2023. You might say like, oh, you're only a couple months behind. Well, I started this save in 2022, um, probably like summer 2022. So I've played like 8 or 9 months of this save. I've made some progress. I figured a lot of things out. I'm still figuring things out as I go and playing around with things and testing things. At some point, I might take kind of like what I've learned and start a new save. But this is where I'm at right now, and I wanted to get a video of this up, and it might be something that I continue with occasionally, but I just wanted to share this. Um, First off, just go into detail. I am running AEW. There are several other companies. Let's look at my roster. There are several other companies in the game that I'm competing against. Um, let's see. There's WWE. There is NXT. There's New Japan, MLW, and Impact. Right now, I am the second biggest company behind WWE. Um, Something just came up in this save that I'm kind of testing out. Impact financially is going under and they are up for sale. So I went ahead and sent out one of my employees to go ahead and negotiate a buyout. I I don't even know if that's something I want to do. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if I can kind of turn this into a bit of an invasion angle, like, oh, it's Impact invading AEW. I think that would be kind of cool, but it's something that's never happened. I've never experienced it. I don't know what to expect, so I just wanted to try it out. Um, there are Impact does have some talents that I definitely want. Um, I can go look at their roster in a second. Let's see. I've got some things going on. I've got a talent request, Mercedes Vernado, who is now Mercedes Monet. I might actually you can edit any of these characters. I am in sandbox mode, so I can make any edits I want, and it doesn't cost me anything. I probably at some point will change that to Mercedes Monet. Um, she has a talent request, win clean and don't lose any singles matches. It was I think for 3 months. It ends after this month. She is currently my AEW Women's Champion. We got year-end awards coming in 2 months. Negotiating the buyout of Impact. I am signing out of the Indies Lady Frost, Soraya. Now I had Soraya, but she was retired when I started this save. So like I couldn't use her other than like as a manager. So I was like, this is just a waste of a roster spot. So I released Soraya, and then later on I found like, oh shit, you can actually unretire superstars. And it is, let's see if I can find it. I think it's under manage other artifacts, and it is way down here. It is Ring Return Plus Plus. Stage a miraculous full-time comeback for a retired superstar. It is, 400 of whatever this in-game currency is. I'm playing in sandbox mode, so I have unlimited creative points. That's what they call their in-game currency. So like I could do that at any time. It's just it's something I didn't know about until very recently. And I might actually look at like a lot of these and see speed up the recovery. I don't need to do that. Interbrand. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wasn't there an interbrand pro allows superstars from other brands to be booked on all shows up to the next month event? So there's some really cool things to play with in here that I just did not know existed. Hold more events than usual at the upcoming show. Oh, damn. Look at that. Okay. I might use that one too. Training, I'll probably use that because I've got some superstars that could definitely use training. Um, yeah, so even right now, I am literally finding things. But to go back to my dashboard, I am now re-signing Soraya, and I am going to unretire her and put her in the women's division, probably somewhere near the top because Soraya is great. Josh Woods is another guy that was on this roster when I started this save, but I had no idea who he was. He was like a Ring of Honor guy. He's now appeared on AEW television a few times, and like I actually really enjoy Josh Woods because I was like, yeah, let's bring him back. I actually know who this person is now. W. Morrissey has been rebranded as Big Bill. I don't know if I'm going to change that name to Big Bill. That's kind of a stupid name. Sorry, just for recognizability, I might do it, but he probably needs a new name. I've got some injuries. Brian Pillman's out for another month with a torn pec. Tony Nese out 2 months with a hip strain. Johnny Gargano, who was a free agent when I started the save, and I brought in, out 2 months with a torn rotator cuff. And Khan out for 4 months with a dislocated shoulder. Last month, I had a bit of, um, I guess it was like a performance enhancing drug scandal in my company, and I had to suspend some superstars: Matt Jackson, Jay Lethal, AQA, Chuck Taylor, and Ryu Mizunami. Um, that's interesting. I'm kind of waiting to see if anything else comes out of that. Um, I can't move this. Okay. There's like a little recording thing, and I was seeing if I can move it, and I cannot. I can actually bring that up. The following superstars have been suspended. This step should protect us from any fan backlash. Um, why am I not able to scroll down? There we go. Now I can't see. Okay, it doesn't, it's not, it is not in my mailbox. Buddy Matthews has gotten quite over with the fans, hasn't he? We would love to see him compete at the next TGI. And Buddy Matthews is going to compete at the next TGI. I have him in a feud with John Silver right now. Okay, I've just gone over some basic things. Let's actually get into this. I'm wasting a lot of time. Let's actually view the roster. I am at 159 superstars. That's including the 4 people that I am working on signing right now. So I'll have one additional spot open. As I kind of get comfortable with what I have, I'm probably going to look to downsize the roster a bit because I don't need a lot of the depth I have other than to just kind of keep all these tag divisions open. Um, AEW World Champion is CM Punk. Ring of Honor World Champion Daniel Garcia. TNT Champion is Eddie Kingston. ROH World Television is Powerhouse Hobbs. AEW All Atlantic is John Moxley. That's now, I think it's now the international title. I'm gonna have to edit that at some point. Ring of Honor Women's Champion Toni Storm, AEW Women's Champion Mercedes Varnado. AEW World Tag Team Champions are the Young Bucks. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions is FTR. For some reason, it's listing them as CMFTR. I think that's because of like the faction they're in. I don't know. I haven't been able to figure out why it's doing that, and I'll actually come back to that in a second. AEW TBS Women's Champion still Jade Cargill. She's dominant. Um, Coming back to that CMFTR thing, I actually retired the trios titles because of the fact that when I would split teams into trios, it was like confusing them. The game was confusing them with factions. And when I tried to put people into feuds for title matches, a lot of times it was telling me like you cannot put factions in trios title feuds. And I was like, I'm literally not trying to do that. And I could never really figure out how to work around that. So I just retired the titles. So I was like, I'm just not dealing with this. I'll come back to it at some point. I might try to figure that out again here at some point because I actually would like to have trios titles, and I've got a deep enough roster that I can put together some pretty good trios teams. My main eventers, I have built a lot of main eventers. CM Punk, John Moxley, Mercedes Varnado, Eddie Kingston, Kenny Omega, Jade Cargill, Miro, Will Ospreay, who I was able to acquire from New Japan, Samoa Joe, MJF, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler are now main eventers. Maki Ito has really made a rise up the card to become a main eventer. Powerhouse Hobbs is a main eventer for me. Jericho, Hangman Adam Page, Dr. Britt Baker, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Bryan Danielson, Malachi Black, Chris Statlander, Swerve Strickland, Toni Storm, Darby Allin, Andrade El Idolo, Rey Fenix, Brody King, Claudio Cesaro. That's another name. I gotta change that to Claudio Castagnoli. I've just been lazy. Ricky Starks, Penta Oscuro, Dalton Castle, who I've brought all the way over from like a Ring of Honor guy all the way to one of my main eventers now. I've really developed him. Wyndham, who is Bray Wyatt. He was another guy who's just like Johnny Gargano. He was a free agent when I started the save. I said, yeah, let's bring that guy in. So Gargano and Wyndham are main eventers. Christian Cage is a main eventer. Mercedes Martinez, Trent Beretta, who has just caught fire with the fans. I didn't really do anything to specifically develop him. The fans have just really caught on with him. Ethan Page, Rocky Romero is kind of the same thing. The fans just love best friends. Hook, Bobby Fish, Candice LeRae, John Gresham, upper mid carders, Trish Adora has been a real up and comer. I was not planning on pushing Trish Adora into like the main event scene, into like the title scene. I thought maybe at some point like I would push Trish Adora into some Ring of Honor women's feuds, but I put her in one feud with a Ring of Honor women's champion a few months back in the save, and the fans ate it up. So Trish Adora is going to get more time. Konosuke Takeshita, John Silver, fans love him. Daniel Garcia just won my Ring of Honor World title. He's catching on. He's probably going to make a jump into a main eventer here pretty soon. Hikaru Shida. Roosh has been very good for me. On the verge of becoming a main eventer. Matt Menard, Brian Cage, Pac, Jay Lethal, Kyle O'Reilly, Buddy Matthews, who's just getting hot. Anna Jay, Angelo Parker, Jungle Boy, who I should probably change his name to Jack Perry, Thunder Rosa, Danhausen, Athena, Nyla Rose, Orange Cassidy, Serena Deeb, Wardlow, Ortiz, Paul White, who I don't really know what to do with Paul White, to be honest. I might actually search to see if there's a trade available because you can trade talent with other companies. I might see if there's a trade available where I can move Paul White and maybe get something a little bit more interesting back in the return. Chuck Taylor, The Butcher, Sting. Um, Sting, I don't know what to do with him. I really don't know what to do with any of these people who are just like strictly part timers. I don't know whether to just package them together and trade them. I really wouldn't like to do that with Sting, but like also Sting is not going to get like a main event push for me. So he's just kind of there. I don't really know what to do with him. Sammy Guevara is someone I'd like to push up the card a little bit. He just hasn't really caught on with the fans. Santana, Sean Spears, Jamie Hayter, same thing. I would love to push Jamie Hayter up the card, but Jamie Hayter, I've put in a couple feuds and they've been kind of mediocre. The fans haven't really caught on with it. Ryo Mizunami suspended. Johnny Elite, he's another guy that I might eventually throw in a trade. I don't need Johnny Elite on this roster. Wheeler Yuta, Billy Gunn, AQA, Dante Martin. I have tried to get Dante Martin a bit of a push. It's just not taking. I might have to send him to trading. Jake Hager, Evoluto, Max Caster. He's just starting to pick up steam. He and Bowens both. So I think they're going to get a nice little push. Scorpio Sky, Bear Bronson, Ty Conte, Mark Quinn, Bear Boulder, Ruby Soho, Khan, Lee Moriarty, Penelope Ford, Matt Seidel, Alex Reynolds, Paige Van Zant. That's another name that I could probably get rid of off this roster. Layla Hirsch. I don't know what happened to Layla Hirsch. Has Layla Hirsch been on any AEW TV in like the last year? Has Layla Hirsch left? Is she back on the Indies? I'm not sure what's going on there. So I just not seeing Layla Hirsch on TV anywhere for quite a while. It's just a name that kind of slipped my mind. Julia Hart, she could probably use some development. She's still very young and very good. Definitely more interesting since joining the House of Black. The Bunny is just kind of there. QT Marshall. Marina Shafir, I actually like as a heel. Abaddon is another one there that I just don't know what to do with them. I like Abaddon though. Abaddon I think could be someone that maybe doesn't become like a main eventer, but I could push up the card to at least challenge for a title occasionally. Kiera Hogan, I don't know what the ceiling is there. Same with kind of Red Velvet. Isaiah Cassidy with Mark Quinn is kind of just a tag team pair. Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale, I don't know about the character. I might give Willow Nightingale a heel turn and just turn kind of Willow Nightingale into really somebody who just overpowers maybe smaller faces. Like a Willow Nightingale Riho feud would probably be really good with like Willow Nightingale being the heel. Preston Vance. Um, Preston Vance has since turned heel in real life, and I haven't done that in game. I might have to do something like that down the road because Dark Order is just sort of there. I've given a couple of title shots to some different pairs of the Dark Order, but without a trios division, I don't really know what to do with them. Joe Henry, um, I think that's a young young person. They picked up off the Indies or maybe at a developmental, or even could have been a Ring of Honor. I don't know. But I've given Joe Henry a little bit of work. Anthony Ogogo, I don't know what to do with Anthony Ogogo. Austin Gunn, I haven't really done much with the guns at all. I could probably look to develop Austin and Colton a little bit into like a actual powerful tag team. Toa Leona, I believe, is in a tag team with Khan, but Khan is hurt right now, so they're just kind of sitting there. Yuka Sakazaki, I just I've never been a huge Yuka Sakazaki fan. Diamante, I do kind of like Diamante. I might try to find something to do with Diamante. I got a voice message from my wife. Lee Johnson, I don't know. I've got Lee Johnson in a tag team with Brock Anderson. I don't know what the ceiling is there. Um, Austin Vanderfort, I think, is the husband of Paige Van Zant. I could probably just cut that dude. I don't. There's no reason for him to even be on this roster. Lower mid Carters, Camarado, Miranda Alize, Brock Anderson, Fuego del Sol, Angelico, JD Drake, Tony Nese, Joe Keys, Griff Garrison, Ryan Nemeth, Aaron Solo, Colton Gunn. Going back to Griff Garrison, Brian Pillman Jr. is hurt right now. They're in a tag team. I might break up that tag team and have Pillman go on like a heel run after he gets back from injury. And then after that, it'd probably be time for me to get rid of Griff Garrison. I don't think I've got anything for him. Nemeth is in a tag team with JD Drake. JD Drake is also in a tag team with Anthony Henry, I believe, the Workhorseman. And they actually, I put them in a random feud last month, and they actually got kind of hot. So I might keep an eye on them. Um, we come down here to Mike Seidel. He's just there to be in a tag team with Matt Seidel. If I move on from one, I'll move on from the other. Kip Sabian is down here. Kip Sabian could probably get a little bit of a push. Like, I think he's a legitimate guy. Alan Five Angels, another Dark Order guy. Anthony Green, I just put in a tag team with Joe Keys. And I might try to develop them a little bit. They're still pretty young. Sky Blue is down here. Um, Sky Blue is also very young. She's been on TV a lot lately. I could probably try to develop her skills a bit and give her a bit of a push. Rebel, I don't really need Rebel at this point. Jorah Joel, Carly Bravo is in a tag team with Sean Dean, the infantry. You see, like, I have a lot of tag teams. Trios, I still have some trios teams put together. I just got to figure out how all this works before I bring back the trios title. Managers, they're not taking up room on my roster, so I'm not super worried about any of the managers. Actually, like, let me see if I can release Vicky Guerrero. Yeah, let's do that. I think the less said about that, the better. If you want to know what's going on with Vicky Guerrero, you go look it up. Sanjay Dutt, Tully Blanchard. I don't think Tully's with the company anymore. I don't even know if Arn is. I haven't seen Arn for a while. Down Catalyst, Dan Lambert, -1. William Regal's not with the company anymore. Alex Abrahantes, Mark Sterling, Sue. Sue is just somebody's mom. I don't need Sue on the roster. And Jose the assistant. Did that actually take people off my roster? Yeah, it did. It put me down to 157. I might actually look through the indies and see if there's anybody worth signing now. One thing I haven't done is looked at other brands. Oh, those are my brands. I don't want to do that. What am I doing? Let me look at New Japan. Matt Hardy. I sent Matt Hardy to New Japan in the trade that brought over Will Ospreay. So if they want to take Matt Hardy and make him the IWGP World Heavyweight Title holder, that's fine with me. I'm happy with Will Ospreay. Kenta, the Hardys are tag team champions. Matt Hardy is also the junior heavyweight title holder. The Hardys are also the strong openweight tag team. So the Hardys are just dominating Japan right now. Ooh, I would like to have Juice Robinson. I would like to have Jay White too. Is he holding a title? He is not. So I think I could make an offer. Yeah. Your scout gives a good estimate. So like here's where it comes back to. Like you have a budget. If you're actually playing the regular game in like a competitive mode, you have a budget you have to stick to. I don't because I'm in sandbox mode. So I want Jay White. I'm just gonna offer him a shitload of points. Oh wow, not good enough. Okay, let's offer him 1,000. And we're loading. All right, so I poached Jay White from New Japan. I don't feel bad about that because uh, oh Jay White is on a 10-match losing streak. Jesus Christ. Okay, well that's gonna turn around. I'm not that. I don't feel that bad because Jay White is actually in um, AEW now, and so is Juice Robinson. So Juice Robinson, 33. Let's poach Juice Robinson. Excuse me, man. I got the coughs. Let's go 900 for Juice. Let's bump it to 1,000. Why not? All right. So Juice and Jay White coming over. That puts me back to 159. So I have one more roster spot, even without cutting any of the other like kind of marginal talent that I've gone over. I might just look very quickly, see if there's anybody that catches my eye. I like Zack Sabre, El Desperado, 37. Yeah, I'm not super interested in that. Jeff Hardy, Tom Lawler, Bad Luck Fale. Jeff Cobb. I like Jeff Cobb. Yeah, I don't know if Jeff Cobb's a guy that I'm going to bring in and give a major push to. Lance Archer. This is somebody who's been on AEW off and on. Same thing. Like I could bring in Lance Archer, but is Lance Archer really gonna like picture in any of my title matches or main events? No. Willie Mack is someone who's in AEW right now, but I don't know. Again, yeah, I don't see anybody who really jumps out as like, it's somebody I want to go get. So I am negotiating a buyout of Impact. So let's go to MLW. Okay, Alexander Hammerstone is holding their title. So El Hilo del Vikingo I don't know if I can negotiate him with him when he's hurt, but I want El Hilo del Vikingo. Returns in 4 to 5 months. Yeah, easy. All right, I need to see what my wife had to say. Give me just a second.
Hey babe, I am on my way to Walmart. I'm gonna grab a few things and then I'm gonna go get Raven. I'll keep you posted on what time I think I'll be home. I love you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.
All right, sorry for the break there. Okay, so I also want, I don't know, I might be being greedy now. I was gonna say I want Bandito, but I don't know if that's necessary. Bandito is 26, and Bandito is good. Boy, I don't know. I might actually have to bring in Bandito. MLW have a big roster. Oh, they've got Killer Cross. They got the Von Erichs as well. Savio Vega's still around. Parker Boudreaux. Okay, he's in AEW right now. Lower mid card. MLW actually has a pretty big roster. Warhorse. I like Warhorse. Not super high end talent, but I could see it filling out a roster with Warhorse. Um, I think I'm gonna go release somebody and go get Bandito, if I'm being perfectly honest. They're I've been holding on to a lot of these talents because I thought I would trade them, and there's really no reason for me to do that because I could basically just buy anybody that I want. So let's release him and let's release Paige Van Zant. They're part-timers. I just don't need them. I'm not going to use them for anything. Chavo Guerrero, same thing. I'm not going to use Chavo Guerrero. Sting, I'm going to keep around. Paul White, I'm not going to keep around. Paul White is like super over though. I don't know. I might. Maybe I should keep Paul White just to have people that I'm giving a push beat Paul White. Okay, I'm gonna keep Paul White because like Paul White is over. So if I put Paul White in a match with somebody that I'm also trying to get over, they might actually have a pretty good feud. Um, so what did I cut? Three people? Okay, so let me go back to MLW. I don't know if I'm gonna bring in three people immediately. I don't know who Alexander Hammerstone is, but he is super over. But I'm not gonna poach. I'm not gonna poach their champion just because he's over when it's somebody I don't even know who it is. I do want Bandito though. So let me go get Bandito. Let's do 950. Yep. let's see. Let's check out NXT, see what they have there. I'm not really planning on taking talent away from WWE or NXT, even though that I could offer them like, 5,000 to take them. I'm not really planning on doing that. Um, goddamn spam calls. Let's see. Roderick Strong could actually probably use saved from NXT and from WWE altogether. They seem to be doing nothing with him. I could bring in Roddy and basically add him to um, like Adam Cole and uh, Red Dragon. I might keep an eye on that. That might actually be a realistic one. Yeah, there's nobody else down here. I like Tyler Bate. I love Io Shirai. I think Io Shirai is great. Carmelo Hayes is great. Cameron Grimes is great. Ilya Dragunov is great. Wes Lee is great. Um, some of these people I just don't know a whole lot about because I have not watched NXT since it went to NXT 2.0. That was kind of the point where I jumped out. WWE, they have a vacant United States Championship. Sheamus is their WWE champion. Bobby Lashley's Universal. Dewdrop. That's Piper Niven. Put some respect on that name. Um, Brock Lesnar's out of appearances. Theory. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Cody Rhodes. I can poach Cody back. Gunther. Oh God, I love Gunther. I would love to poach Gunther and just get Gunther over as fuck. I don't know. If I decide to just take this in a crazy direction, maybe I will do that. Um, Kyle Fletcher? Kyle Fletcher from. Yeah, okay. What? Who's his tag team partner? God damn it, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm gonna buy Kyle Fletcher. What? It's Aussie Open. Let me see. It's Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. So I got to figure out like where Mark Davis is in this game. That would be a great tag team for me to bring in, and I'm gonna do it. Why he's in A or why he's in WWE, I have no idea. All right. So I'm wondering if Mark Davis isn't back in New Japan still. Let's see. 'Cause it doesn't look like they came over together. I don't know if there's a way. I didn't see him down here. I don't know if there's a way for me to just search Mark Davis and see if he comes up. Oh, okay. I might be able to search by company. Yeah, there he is. Oh shit, he's got a severe concussion. All right, well, I'll bring him in and wait. I'm very happy about that. Bringing in Aussie Open. All right, so I've spent a lot of this video actually doing roster work that I didn't know that I was going to do. Um, Finalizing deals for Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher, Bandito, El Hilo del Vikingo, Juice Robinson, Jay White, Lady Frost, Soraya, Josh Woods, and W. Morrissey. Okay, so I have not even booked a show so far on this stream. My computer's not charging, and it's because it's not plugged in. That's wonderful. Good job, me. Um, so this is AEW Rampage. So what I do, there are you can set up the number of shows you have in between pay-per-views or whatever the hell they call them in game, like TIG or something like that. I have 4 shows. So you have 3 shows a week. I have 4 weeks in between like pay-per-view events. So that means I have 12 shows total. So the way I tend to do things is I've got a pad of paper here. I set up 22 feuds that I have running at a given time. And I set up those feuds right after the pay-per-view. You get to the pay-per-view, you can run 14 matches. So I have 14 blow-off matches during my pay-per-view. So I have 8 feuds left over. I run the 8 feuds that don't make the pay-per-view, I run them on the Dynamite, the first show after my pay-per-view, which is Super Card of Honor this time. So that'll leave me 2 slots because you get 10 events per show. And I use those last 2 to set up 2 feuds. And then I use the next 2 shows to set up 20 more feuds, 10 and 10. So that gives me back to 22 feuds. And then I build up those feuds over the next 3 weeks in the lead up to the pay-per-view. So it's 9 total shows that I have to build up 22 different feuds. I organize everything I'm going to do on pad of paper. So I have done. I had 9 shows before the pay per view. I've done 2 of them, so I am down to 7 shows until the pay per view. So I am going to set up this initial show. We're only going to do 1 show today because I'm running out of time already. I have really spent a lot of time on this. Um, The first feud on the show is Daniel Garcia versus Rocky Romero. There it is. So now I am going to select the scenario. This is my biggest feud on the show. It's for the Ring of Honor World Title. So I'm going to add producer focus to this. This is my main event. Let's see the available feuds. What did I run last time? I forced to retreat. So let's do fight tease this time. And I'll show you how that works when we run the show. You get to pick who performs the action, and I'll show you exactly how that works. Let's see, the next on the show is Jon Moxley and Keith Lee for the AEW International title. Jon Moxley, Keith Lee. Okay. We did a stare down last time. We are going to do a tense pull apart for those 2. Over here on edit is where you can add feuds. I've already set up all these feuds, so we're all good to go. Next month, when I go to start the process over again, I'll show you how to do all of that over again. I'll walk you through it. ROH Women's Title: Toni Storm versus Anna Jay. Toni Storm versus Anna Jay. Where are you at? Okay, this one is not off to a great start. 65, that's not too bad. That's actually not too bad. All right, Tony Storm, Anna Jay. What did they open up with? They must have opened up with a fight. So some of your segments are repeatable. Promo, battle, fight, etc. If you've picked something that is not repeatable in a feud, you will get penalized if you run it again, so it'll highlight it. It'll show you that you've done it before. And you do not want to run the same event twice in a show. So we've already done Fight Tees and we've done Ted's Pull Apart. We need to pick something else. So let's go off camera assault. All right. Oh shit, you know what? I think I did the wrong show. This is Rampage. This should have been, I should have 8 shows left. That's okay. I'm doing this a little bit out of order, but I still know exactly where I'm at. Buddy Matthews, John Silver is the next one. Buddy Matthews, John Silver. There it is. Buddy Matthews, John Silver. Let's see what I ran between them last time. I did fight tees. Well, we've already done that on this show, so that's not what this is going to be. I might do forced to retreat. Okay. Thunder Rosa is in a feud. I put Martinez. I'm assuming it's Mercedes Martinez, which would make sense because I'm trying to get Thunder Rosa hot. Thunder Rosa is kind of cooled off a little bit. Mercedes Martinez is hot with the fans. She's a main eventer right now. So a win in this feud for Thunder Rosa would really help maybe cement her back in the main event picture. Have I run anything with her? Doesn't look like it. Maybe a fight. We've done off-camera assault, backstage confrontation, stare down fight tease, standing tall. Let's do standing tall. All right. Jungle Boy in a feud with Luchasaurus. I am breaking up that tag team. It's already pretty hot. Let's see. We ran Surprise Attack last time. Maybe we'll do Promo Ambush. We'll have Jungle Boy running a promo and have Luchasaurus ambush him. It's just gonna keep being It's gonna keep being Luchasaurus beating the shit out of Jungle Boy, and then maybe the last couple times we'll have Jungle Boy maybe getting the upper hand heading into the pay-per-view. Andrade versus Max Caster. Max Caster in a singles feud with Andrade El Idolo. It was a backstage attack last time. Let's do an after-match save. So my idea for that would be probably like Bowens in a match with El Idolo. El Idolo's beating the shit out of Bowens. Max Caster runs in, makes the save. All right. And we have 3 more events, but I'm not. Oh, there we go. I'm seeing them. Samoa Joe versus Swerve Scott or Swerve Strickland. Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. We did Standing Tall last time. I just did after-match save. I don't think I did after-match attack yet. Let's do after-match attack. I'm turning Swerve heel, so he's going to attack Samoa Joe after Samoa Joe has a match. Orange Cassidy versus Brody King. We did after-match attack last time. We might do backstage attack. This is another one like similar to how we're building up the which was Andrade Max Caster feud. We're just gonna have Brody King beat the shit out of Orange Cassidy, and then Orange Cassidy coming back a little bit at the end. One more. It is Maki Ito against Candice LeRae, and we're gonna have Candice LeRae going over in this feud. Ooh, it does not look like it's off to a great start. There it is. That's not bad. 67. We did an interview attack last time. I think we already did a promo ambush. These are getting into the more aggressive ones. Masked Attacker is actually a pretty good one. We'll have Maki Ito be a masked attacker of Candice LeRae. And that is our show for AEW Rampage. Let's do a quick playthrough, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this video for now. And we'll come back to it. Starting event, Masked Attacker. Maki Ito is the Masked Attacker, so we're going to select her. And 100% effective. Candice LeRae walked down the ramp for a scheduled match when a masked person attacked her from behind. Could it be Maki Ito? Yes. Backstage attack. That is going to be Brody King attacking Orange Cassidy. Again, 100% effective. Orange Cassidy is walking into the arena when Brody King attacks him from behind. Superstars scramble backstage to pull Brody King away from Orange Cassidy. It's another very, very good segment. After match attack. This is going to be Swerve Strickland attacking Samoa Joe. 100% effective. We just finished our last match. Samoa Joe is going to leave after his match when Swerve Strickland attacks him from behind. Swerve Strickland lays Samoa Joe out and exits the ring. And we got some updates. Swerve 100%, Samoa Joe 100%. That's their over rating. They're both 100% over. Put on a hot segment, boosting their overness by 4%. A lot of viewers turned it, so it's 10% hype, plus 10 hype. You can see Swerve Strickland is super over. Samoa Joe is too, but Strickland's a better worker. Strickland's about to get a big push for me. After match save, that's going to be Max Caster coming in to save his partner from Andrade El Idolo. And that's 100% effective. Match is over. Andrade El Idolo is attacking his opponent, which we're saying is Caster's tag partner, Anthony Bowens. When Max Caster's music hits, Max Caster charges out of the ring as Andrade El Idolo retreats. Max Caster's Platinum gimmick progressed from good to mark out, gaining +5 overness. So Caster is getting hot, as you can see. El Idolo's already there. Caster's got better charisma. El Idolo is the better worker. So I'm getting a lot of my talent super over, which I'm very happy about. Promo ambush. Luchasaurus is going to ambush Jungle Boy. 95% effective. Jungle Boy started a promo in the ring when Luchasaurus appeared from behind to ambush him. What a cheap shot. Luchasaurus is starting to get over with fans. They put on a hot segment. Very nice. Jungle Boy is already over 3 stars on each. I'd like to even progress that out to maybe 4 stars, at least as a worker. Luchasaurus could progress to like 3 stars on each now that he's over. This could actually wind up being a bigger, even though Jungle Boy is going to win this feud, it could be a bigger feud for Luchasaurus. Standing tall. This is going to be Thunder Rosa. Right. They start brawling. Thunder Rosa gets the upper hand and hits her finisher to Mercedes Martinez. 100% effective. Mercedes Martinez and Thunder Rosa are talking to each other in the ring. It gets hostile. They start brawling. Thunder Rosa gets the upper hand and hits her finisher on Mercedes Martinez to stand tall. There's no updates on that, but everything went super well. Both these ladies are very much over. I want to get them both in the main event scene. Forced to retreat. Um, this this one is a little bit difficult because you would think you're picking the person that is retreating. You're actually picking the person who is forcing the other to retreat. So we want John Silver forcing Buddy Matthews to retreat. It's 100% effective. John Silver and Buddy Matthews are in the ring talking. They say some insulting things to each other. A fight breaks out. John Silver has Buddy Matthews ready for his finisher, but Buddy Matthews is able to escape from the ring. Right, there's an update on this one. They put on a hot segment, plus 10 hype. Oh, excuse me. Off-camera assault. I think Anna Jay is the heel. Tony Storm's still a face. So it's going to be Anna Jay committing the assault. 100% effective. We have a camera backstage with an incident. Tony Storm is lying on the floor, battered and bloodied. Anna Jay is seen walking away in the corner of the frame. Very effective. Tony Storm is super over, by the way. That's why I basically had no other choice but to make Tony Storm a champion. This was a tense pull apart. I didn't have to pick like who performed the action. 100% effective. Keith Lee and John Moxley are talking outside the ring. Things are getting intense between them. They start fighting. Officials run in to pull them apart, but they can barely contain the two. And it's a hot segment. Plus 10 hype. So this is you can basically see the structure I'm going with. All of my shows are basically segments building up to the pay-per-view, and then I have the blow-off matches. I've tried to do shows with matches in between the pay-per-views. They don't go super well. You get maybe 3 stars for like a good match. Usually it's about 2.5. It's much better to run segments rather than matches because you have to build a feud for the matches to pay off. Fight tease. Um, oh God, how do I gotta remember how to do this? I think we want Garcia teasing the fight. Yeah, okay, we did that right. Producer focus on this one, 100% effective. Rocky Romero and Daniel Garcia are talking in the ring. Tensions are getting high. Daniel Garcia teases a fight but backs out of the ring at the last minute. Cowardly heel move. And it is a hot segment, plus 10 hype. That was our main event. That worked perfectly. All right, let's continue. See how our show did compared to the other shows. It's going to be very good. I know that. That was a very successful show. It's loading a bit. Sometimes things load very quickly in this game. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It is a browser-based game. It just is what it is. God, I got another voice message. I am almost done, and then I'll listen to that. At least I think I'm almost done. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So you see, we had a very, very good show. Almost a 5-star show. Uh, WWE put on a pretty good show, 4-star show. New Japan put on a 4.5-star. NXT UK was garbage. NWA Power, the Impact show, was actually pretty damn good, but they still lost fans somehow. That's tough. Um, Azteca Underground, the MLW, was not a great show. They're losing talent. We picked up 81,000 fans. We are gaining quickly on WWE. But that is essentially how you run a show. I'll be back to keep going on through this. I think this went really well. I enjoyed doing this. This was basically just an introduction. I might go a little bit more in depth. I might play around with this a little bit more and just see what kind of shit I can do. I really like this game. I've had a lot of fun with this game. There's a free version. There's a paid version. I did the paid version. I think it's like $20. It's not. It's really not that much, especially for the amount of hours I've put into this already. Um, Definitely worth it. Definitely worth checking out if you're a wrestling fan. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.